basin of water and a towel. And I remember thinking, what is Jesus doing with the foot water? I doubt that he's going to wash anybody's feet. I was wrong. Just then he kneels down in front of Bartholomew and starts washing his feet. Bart just sat there. He didn't say nothing. He didn't move. He didn't know what to do. None of us did. And then Jesus finished and he went on to Philip and went on to Andrew and James and the rest of us. And I remember thinking that this is so strange, yet wonderful. I doubt anyone is going to say anything right now. I was wrong. Just then, you know who broke the silence? Peter.
No way are you going to wash my feet. That's what I told him. I mean, he could wash other people's feet, but he wasn't going to wash mine. So I said to him, Jesus, you're not going to wash my feet. I mean, you're the king. He just looks at me and said, then you can have nothing to do with me. Ouch. Well, wash my hands, wash my feet, wash my whole body if you have to. He just looked at me and said, your feet will do just fine, Peter. In the midst of washing our feet, he teaches us servanthood.
And then Jesus gets some bread and some wine, and he blesses it. And he serves it to us, and he says, this is the new covenant with his blood. And then Jesus looks at us, and he says, all of you will lose faith in me tonight. And I remember thinking, lose faith in you? Never. But I didn't say anything. I just sat there.
I couldn't just sit there. I had to say something. So I said, Jesus, I love you. You can count on me. Everyone else may fall away, but I will not. Jesus just smiled and looked at me and said, Peter, before tomorrow morning, you'll deny me 3 times. Ouch. Before I knew, we were wrapping things up and headed to the garden to pray.
Once we got to the garden, things got crazy. Jesus had asked Peter, James, and myself to go with him further into the garden to pray. So we did. Well, we tried. We kept falling asleep. Jesus had to keep waking us up. I remember one time he said, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That's true. And to think this whole mess got started because of Judas. Did he really believe what he was doing was right?
There he is. He's the one that you want. The one praying by himself. Now the others, they're going to come over and try to cause a scene. But the one that I kiss on the cheek, he's the one that you want. Now 30 pieces of silver, right? That's what we agreed upon? 30 pieces of silver? Forget about the others. The one I kiss on the cheek, he's the one that you want.
A kiss? Judas betrays Jesus with a kiss of a friend? Things got really crazy then. Peter picks up the sword and cuts this guy's ear off. And Jesus just reaches down and picks it up and puts it back on the side of the guy's head. As if nothing had happened. And then they took him. Oh, I would love to tell you that we stayed and we fought for him. But we didn't. Everybody ran. I ran. I'm so ashamed.
What have I done? What have I done? Was I so stupid to think that I've killed him? I've killed him. I've crucified Jesus.
Yeah, I crucified Jesus. That's what the crowd wanted, and that's what they got. Personally, I don't think the guy did anything to deserve it. But see, I was just a soldier doing my job. When the governor gives the sentence, that's when I go to work. For work. I love that job. I felt like I was administering justice every time I nailed someone to a tree. But that guy, he didn't deserve it.
Made no sense. There I was, rotting away in the jail cell for stealing, murdering, you name it. I'd done it. And I knew the next time I set foot out of that jail, well, that would be it. So the guards, they came and got me and put me next to this man who'd been beaten to a pulp. And Governor Pilate started asking the crowd, which one of these men do you want me to set free? I mean, it was obvious. The crowd, they're going to say, let Jesus go. And I would tell them where they could go. Then the crowd started chanting Barabbas. They were saying my name. They were saying my name over and over and over. The guards threw me to the crowd and took Jesus to Golgotha. I mean, one minute I'm a man marked for death, and the next I'm free. It made no sense. So I followed him all the way to Golgotha.
I was stationed in Golgotha that day. We just raised the second criminal by the time they brought him to me. I will never forget the way he looked. He had been beaten and spit on and whipped. He was unrecognizable as a man. Hideous. What was left of his clothes, they stripped it off of him and threw him down on the cross. And that's when I went to work on him. Generally, when you crucify a man, the first hand is always the toughest. The criminal wants to get away and fight you. Normally, I would have 2 soldiers hold him down. But this guy didn't put up a fight. I figured he was just exhausted. As an executioner, I've been called every name in the book. I've been yelled at by men, pleaded with, but I wasn't prepared for that. He looked at us. He looked at me, and he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He forgave me.
Forgive them. He said, forgive them. Who is he? Forgive? It should have been me up there. I was the one supposed to be hanging on the cross. He took my place. I remember looking up as he took a deep, agonizing breath, and he said, it is finished. Then he died.
Surely.